Hello everyone, so today I want to introduce to you guys the Cosmos resin clay. This is a Japanese air-dry clay which I purchased on Etsy, and I will link down below a few links where you can get this. I bought this for around 14 to 15 US dollars. The retail price says on the back 1,008 yen retail price. So that is what you would pay in a craft store in Japan for this. And the package contains normally 2 of these little packets. So that is pretty nice because there are 2 of these in there. You don't have to open up a whole big or a lot of clay, so the chance of everything drying out on you is a lot smaller, so you at least have the second half in case it dries out. As I said, this is an air dry clay, and the way it dries, I just took a little bit and rolled it into a ball and let it dry by itself. It is opaque white, as you can tell. It is hard completely, and this took about 24 hours to dry. The clay itself attracts little to no dust, really very little, which is really nice in my opinion. And you can color and shade it with, for example, acrylic paints or pastels. So I did that. And I made this creation. So now the basic color is this hard. I kept that unshaded, just colored with acrylic paint. I used this type of paint. And as you can tell, the color matches pretty nicely. I didn't have to use a whole lot for that. Then the cookie itself is shaded with pastels, which turned out pretty well in my opinion. You do have to use a bit more pastels to shade it than, for example, for polymer clay, because the surface is so smooth that it won't really stick to it. And this heart is shaded with pink pastels. You can also just shave off a little bit of the pastels to color the clay entirely, but I did it with the paints. But both ways are possible. Here's a different cookie that I did too, where I tried to shade it a little bit more. And I don't know if you can tell, but it is really smooth and there are very little dust particles. As I worked with this clay, I noticed that at first it seemed a little bit brittle and dry, which got me worried at first, but if you keep on kneading it and condition your clay well, it turns very smooth into a almost called porcelain-like consistency. It is very easy to work with, though it is very soft, so I would suggest using molds with this. And I would suggest using hard plastic molds, because when I tried to push it out of my push mold, it was too soft and deformed a little bit. Even though in the name it stated that it's resin clay, this is non-toxic, so you do not have to wear any gloves while working with this clay, as you might eventually think, because when you work with resin, you do have to wear gloves, but this is a different kind of resin than the one you would use for making clear layered pendants. So there is no use for that. Even though the clay is very smooth at first and easy to handle, I do suggest that you speed up your working process, because I noticed after handling the clay for around 15 to 20 minutes, it starts drying out. It becomes very hard to handle because your creations will eventually get some cracks and I have one creation where I left the clay aside for a while and used the clay for after about 15 to 20 minutes, and as you can tell, there are minor cracks that I could not smooth out anymore. And that is because the clay was already a little too dry. All in all, I think this is a really great product. The outcome of your pieces are really nice and smooth. It has a pretty professional look to it, if I might say so. But the price is, of course, not exactly affordable for anybody, and you also have to mostly import it, so you have to wait until you can get it. But to me, that's worth it, in my opinion. It's just hard for me to make creations without molds with this clay because I'm a very slow crafter. I take a long time to make a piece, and I'm a bit worried that this will dry out on me or will become too hard to handle in order to finish a creation completely. But if you are very fast, I'm pretty sure you can work with this just fine. If you guys have any more questions about this clay that I have not answered in this video, please first check the description box because there are often very important information down there. And if it's not in the video or the description box, you can of course feel free to leave a question. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching.